I grew up with a video game called Megarace from 1993. It came packaged with our computer, which explains why it has no box art or manual. Now, there are two things that I really remember from this game, and one is that you have to hit speed arrows a lot just to catch up to the villain, and two, the outrageous host, Lance Boyle.
And now, VWBT is proud to present the show that squashes reality like a bug. That's right, you better be ready to Megarace. And here's your mega host, Lance Boyle.
Hey, welcome to Megarace, the action show where violence only happens once every few seconds. Hi, I'm Lance Boyle, and people often wonder if I'm real.
In this future, speed that kills isn't enough. Megarace was developed by Cryo Studios and published by the Software Toolworks. Now with that out of the way, let's get to the demo included in the game. Okay, no sound, but I remember this happening when I played it back in the day. Okay, I crashed, but anyway, I'm here to race, not play a jet fighter simulator. Megarace's game was actually very simple, and it's actually not really that great. However, the most memorable thing about this game is the host. He makes bad jokes. Very bad jokes.
Can you keep up this level of intensity, tough guy? Or have you given your all in one spectacular race? Viewers, if you're watching the repeat, please don't phone in to tell me the answer. I hate it when they ruin the suspense.
After every race, this same clip plays every single time. It might be funny the first time, but not every single time you hear it. Megarace, if you can't tell by the title, is a racing game. However, it's not like most racing games. Instead, the backgrounds are full motion video, and your car is stuck in the one center area of the plane. You can still speed up and slow down, but your car will never move from that one focal point. It can, however, continue to move left and right, obviously, or else it would not be a racing game. You start the game being able to choose from normal or hard setting, and from 3 cars. Each successive win unlocks another car. What's cool about this is that each of the 8 cars has a completely different dashboard. Some of the cars do go faster than others, but they might sacrifice how many guns you have and how much ammo you can carry, as well as some other stats. Aside from just a faster car, you'll want to hit up arrows to boost faster, but you'll want to avoid the down arrows. On the racetrack, you have one goal, and that is to kill every car on the road. That is anywhere from 4 to 8 cars, and you'll have to blow them up all with guns or ram into them. However, only one car will ever appear on screen at all, which means you have to destroy that one before you can move to the next one. Some levels near the end can appear pretty hard to beat. especially the next to last level. You want actually a slow car for this level. If you have a fast car, when you hit all the boosts that are everywhere, you'll actually go so fast you'll pass all the enemy cars and waste so much time you'll not be able to kill them before their lap ends. The best way to win at Megarace is to remember where all the symbols are located and what they do. You'll want to pay special attention to the gun ones. Because these will give you more ammo throughout the course and make it easier to kill everyone faster. You'll also want to avoid these because these will remove your ammo. However, the worst one on this track is a gun negator. Basically, when you hit this thing, you can go around and collect more ammo or lose more ammo, but you cannot fire your gun. It actually disables your gun permanently until you reach this symbol. And usually there's only one of these symbols on the entire track, which means you could waste an entire lap trying to get to it. And if you can't find that symbol, you're basically just going to try to ram into the cars, and that's just going to slow time down even more. Okay, let me show you the difference between killing somebody with guns and killing someone by ramming them. As you can see, this method of ramming is really slow, and even if you do try to ram them, there's a chance you could accidentally go past them, which means now they can come up behind you and start ramming into you. There are also various other symbols, such as points, a shield for your car if your car supports it, upgrade from lasers to missiles if your car supports it, and also there's a worthless one that spins you around 360, which basically just slows you down so you can't shoot anyone. And there's this really weird warping icon, which really just messes with your vision so you can't tell what the hell's going on. One thing about this game though is the speed. It seems pretty fast, but I don't recall this at all from my childhood. In fact, I had to go in and adjust the CPU settings, and this is what I had to grow up on. One of the reasons we didn't really play this game too often was because it was pretty slow on occasion, which made it impossible to catch up to the people. Because for some reason, even though you were going slower, it made the game harder, because I guess they were all still going in real time. And yeah, the reason it was so slow, we were playing it on our Daewoo computer that had Windows 3.1. The game itself is pretty fun, but it's the world that draws you in. Lance Boyle is the host of Megarace, also being aired on VWBT. Your car is racing in a virtual world, but at one point, he says they spent millions to build a racetrack in the slums. Isn't this virtual reality? Why do you need money? And then on another racetrack, they say they built one right in the middle of the city, and people complained.
Look at that. VWBT did, and poured billions of dollars into building this superb Sunset Boulevard Speedway. Some of the local residents were a little concerned about having a racetrack right outside the windows. So we said, it's a virtual structure, right? You only think you're seeing it.
So in this world, VR is a hologram that looks realistic and makes noise, but isn't really there, but you've got to construct it to... who cares? There are 14 speedways across 5 different worlds. There's Nusan, which is short for the futuristic city of San Francisco. There's Meva, which contains a lot of underwater tubes to race through. There's also Fractillion Space, which are just racetracks sitting in the middle of space, in the middle of nowhere. There's also the Factory Land, which has tons of factories, obviously, and construction buildings, as well as Terminal City, which is made in the suburbia and slums of the city of San Francisco. There's also a bonus track in which you play twice throughout the game. I'll let Lance fill you in on the details.
Are you ready for a marvel of virtual reality? Yes, my friends, we are messing with your minds. Gaze upon the mighty Sky Holder and gasp. You're on your own for this one, tough guy. 2 laps and the only thing you're hunting here is points. Lots and lots of score. So look out for the special speedway surface markings. Viewers might like to know we've removed the brakes from the Enforcer's car.
Yeah, your guns are disabled, your brakes are disabled, you just move non-stop through 2 laps instead of the usual 3, avoiding everything. See, 1 hit is an automatic death. However, you can finally learn how to trick this. All you have to do is go to the left for the first 4, go to the right for the next 4, and so on. Yeah, it's really that simple once you figure it out. There's also a bonus Tokyo track. Apparently this track comes up whenever you get in 2nd place and actually have enough points. Each of the worlds has one of 5 speed gangs. There's the Vultures, the Sharks, the Power Tools, the Master Class, and the Scabs. Now, in the game itself, you really won't know the difference between all 5 of these because each of the villains pretty much plays exactly the same. But your host will give you a cool description of these gangs.
Here in Nusan, you'll get to know the Vultures. They're a speed gang with a lot of rage, and they like to liberate those strong feelings by smearing people across the highway.
Then, about 6 levels later, when you have to play the same world again, you will get this.
Here in Nusan, you'll get to know the Vultures.
Yep, that's the same description you just heard. Lance repeats himself a lot. Here is the order of events. You pick your car, then you race.
Way to go, Enforcer! That slime ball is toasted pulp as we speak. Of course, he only got splatted virtually.
After that, he will tell you one of 2 different prize introductions.
You just won yourself a prize, Enforcer. Come and take a look. Say, I'd go for one of these myself if I didn't already have a...
From there, you will get one of your many hilarious prizes. Next, you will get one of many different VWBT promos.
You're with Megarace, and I'm your host, Lance Boyle.
Next, you have a description of the track, which is unique for each of the 14 tracks. You are then given a description of one of the 5 gangs that you will be fighting. And finally, you get to end with Lance saying the exact same thing every time before you choose your car.
It's time to select your Megarace machine, Enforcer. Look at those beauties. Go ahead, help yourself.
One thing I remembered about this game when I first started playing it again was the music. It was something that really stood out and something I remembered again, almost like recollected immediately as soon as I started playing again. So it's something that I would definitely search for the soundtrack for if I could find it. After enjoying ridiculous prize after ridiculous prize, guess what happens when you beat the game? Lance congratulates you in his sarcastic attitude, and then you get to see fireworks going off across all the different people who watched your game. Now, one of the things I really liked about this game was the fact that every time you would see an intro for the different tracks, you would always see different people watching you on television. They would be like near a water fountain, someone's living room, even the people programming the Megarace television show. I thought it was pretty interesting as it made you believe you were in a world where this show was actually really popular and tons of people turned in. Now, for the bonus at the end, once you skip through all the major first level cinematics and get to the actual car selection, you will then find that you can select one of any of the 16 levels to race. That includes the bonus Tokyo and the bonus Skyhook level. All you have to do is save your game and you can come back to this anytime. Megarace is a fun game in small spurts and is really amusing mostly due to the craziness of the host. He's still acting today, and the most noticeable role you would have seen him in would have been the Hitman movie, but he's also done voice work for the PlayStation 3 game Heavy Rain. And he returned to play the host of Lance Boyle again in Megarace 2 and 3. How did I not know this game existed when I was a kid? Like, I only just found out Megarace 2 and 3 existed last week when trying to do this video. I'll most likely track them down and buy them, but you know what? Then I'll have to illegally run it just to get it to work. See, my copy of Megarace doesn't work on Windows 7. I had to copy it into my computer, make a backup copy of the file, and then actually search the internet for some kind of bat file, because even a copy of the game wasn't good enough for DOSBox. So anyway, if you can get it working on an older computer, or search out that file and get it running on DOSBox, I would recommend playing it. It's not something you're going to pick up and just play obsessively for hours or days, but it is fun in small spurts and just due to the general craziness of watching the cinematics. Now, stay tuned after the credits to see all the prizes you can win in Megarace. If you actually want to be amused when playing the game yourself, you might want to not watch this part. As for me, I'm going to go onto the internet and track down Megarace 2 and 3 and go on and make some new gaming memories.
Hey, I really hate to interrupt, tough guy, but there's only about a zillion viewers out there waiting to see you in action. So get in gear, baby. Choose a car. A fully qualified dolphin dentist. Open wide, you won't feel a thing. This unique gift is offered by the makers of bigger plastic crocodiles. They're plastic and they're like crocodiles, only bigger. A second pair of arms. Now you can eat 2 hamburgers at the same time. A watch. Now if anybody asks you the time, you'll be able to answer. How about that? Covers for your car seats. If I were a contestant, I'd love to win those. I really would. A fabulous trip to the Seychelles. Hey, aren't they supposed to be islands or something? Aloha, baby. Me, Lance. An invitation to spend an evening out with yourself, including restaurant and a romantic movie. All expenses paid by YOU. Do I hear wedding bells? A fully functioning scientist brain floating in its own nutritious chemical bath. This easy-to-care-for prize is brought to you by the makers of Marsupial, the soup that jumps right out of the can. A genuine Scottish accent tested by a qualified Scotsman. This unique prize is brought to you by the makers of Light the Bonfire, the foolproof witch test. If they don't die, those babes are guilty as hell. Spy on your friends with this invisibility cream. They'll never know you're there. Invisibility cream is brought to you by the makers of Gray Matters, people who believe in the importance of grayness. A book. Don't worry, it's a fake. You were scared for a moment there, right? What a gag.